Well, there you have Avebury Manor House, a Grade 1 listed early 16th century building right there. Nice little bit of history. G'day folks, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I welcome you. If you're not new here, I welcome you back. So what brings me back to Avebury, you might ask? Well, I guess you already know, don't you, given the title of the video. We've come to see if the Avebury Circle is still here. So what does that mean? That means that some circles, and I'll explain as we walk into the circle, they sometimes turn green. So I'm really hoping this one at Avebury has what they call a ghost circle. So we've come back. I haven't asked anyone if it's still there or not, so a bit daft of me really, but it's a great excuse to visit this little village anyway. I absolutely love it here, you know. It's a beautiful day. It's my last day of work. I've got 4 weeks off after today, so happy days. So I just thought, what a better way to come down and have a look, see if it's still there, get the drone out, see what it looks like from above still. But in the meantime, I'll explain what the ghost circle is all about while we take a little walk through the village. So, simply put, a ghost circle is formed when the grain from the flattened wheat within the circle falls to the ground and then sprouts back as grass. So the more people that visit a crop circle and walk around them, the more chance there is that that crop circle will have a ghost circle, because more grain will be pushed into the ground by people's footsteps. Clever stuff, eh? Enough of the nerdy talk, let's get back to Avebury. Well folks, that's where she was, and that's where she kind of still is. I don't know if you can see, the circle is still there. I don't know how it's going to look from above. There's a lot of green around it as well, so I don't know if it's going to be very evident, but that's exactly where it was. So let's go in and check it out from the ground. So this is the first time I've ever visited a crop circle after it's been cut down. And yeah, you can see where the grass has started growing back. It's quite evident, isn't it? This is the outer circle here, and this is the first line of the hexagon. And yeah, you can kind of see the swirly lines that went into the centre of the circle. I'll put a link in the top right hand corner here now of the original video, so you can go and check that out for yourself, or what it used to be like. I'll leave it in the description box as well. But yeah, I mean, it's looking pretty evident from the ground. So let's go and check it out from the sky. This was my favourite circle that I got to visit. I guess there were other formations that I liked the pattern of the most, but for location and everything, I think this definitely had to be my favourite one, for sure, you know. So anyways, what I'm going to do now is I'll explain to you guys what I think I've learnt over these last 2 seasons of crop circle hunting, and how my views have changed slightly on the subject. So I don't want to go too deep, but a long story short, I believe there's a lot more man-made ones than I previously thought, to be honest with you, if not all man-made. Now hear me out, if you're a believer, which I was massively when I first arrived here in Wiltshire to work a couple of years ago. Up until a few months ago, I kind of delved in a little bit deeper, gotten to know a few people within the scene, I'd say. I'm not going to mention any names, But I'd say there's a couple of crop circle makers that I've kind of talked to online, and just watching various documentaries and catching up on old footage from certain kind of stuff that's on YouTube and that, you know, you kind of start putting two and two together, and yeah, a lot of them are man-made, unbelievably, and it was a shock to me to find out that some of my favourite ones that I've seen from years ago on TV and all of these kind of documentaries about aliens and stuff was made by a guy that I've actually kind of talked to, you know, online, which is crazy. And it was definitely him, because it was a commission piece for a company or something. Yeah, it's I mean, but the thing is, the other spin on it, which is what I definitely want to mention, is that with watching all of these documentaries and listening to all of these people talking, they talk about all of these orbs and stuff that they do see, you know, balls of light. Some go on to say that they see kind of shadowy figures, like dark shadowy figures, some really tall shadowy figures, just strange goings on while they're making these circles, you know. Even the weather, they've had, people have been in kind of rainstorms and there hasn't been rain around where the circle is. Fog dropping down across the top of the crop circle so that the people that could make it supposedly couldn't be seen. They said that a kind of a big layer of fog came down on them and kind of covered them while they were making the circle, and then in the morning when it was all done, the fog lifted and there it was for everyone to see, you know. So I think my beliefs are, they're all man-made. Most are man-made, let me say. But I think there's things going on within these circles, like the circle makers say, you know. They see all of these balls of light, all of these kind of weird figures and other goings on, you know. So that's my view on it now, really. I truly believe humans are capable of doing these circles, you know. And make of it what you will. I'm still going to enjoy visiting them. As you can see, I absolutely love them. Just come down to this one because it was my favourite one, and I was hoping to see the ghost circle. But yeah, it's really, really interesting once you kind of start delving into things and talking to people, getting their views on things, which allows you to make your own mind up and create your own views, you know. So I'm not saying I'm right here, I'm just going off what I've read, what I've been told, what I've seen, what I've heard, and it's not all as innocent as we may seem. Now, the circle makers will say that the skeptics, the guys that research, the researchers, there's quite a big war going on between them, you know, between the makers and the researchers. The circle makers say that the researchers are making a big thing out of it, in a way, kind of to make money and to keep that kind of, that secret kind of thing going, you know. Whereas the circle makers think there's none of that really going on, so to speak. But then you've got the skeptics saying that the circle makers, there's no way that they could make these things. They found things within the circles, they found energies within the circles. But the circle makers, they to be fair, they do seem to have answers for everything the researchers throw at them, you know. That's kind of why it makes me think what's going on. But anyways, that's my little story of visiting the crop circles in especially these last few months. It's been really good though, really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to next year to see what next year brings. So I'm gonna head back to work now, folks. Gonna leave Avebury for one more time, and then, as I say, I'm off work for 4 weeks tomorrow, so let's see what adventures I get up to in them 4 weeks. Okay, take care, folks, see you soon, peace.